When did you fall in love? Couples never agree. Was it during a quiet walk or during a noisy party? The timeline of love is never clear. The timeline of love is always confusing, just like the Passover Seder. Have you ever thought about the timing of the Passover Seder? How bizarre it is? The time set aside for the Seder, the evening of the 15th of Nisan, corresponds to the last moments that the Jews experienced slavery in Egypt. In fact, the Seder must end at midnight, at the moment that Pharaoh freed the Jews from slavery. And this is a strange time for a holiday. Imagine if the Americans celebrated their independence not on July 4th, but on July 3rd. Imagine if Israelis celebrated their independence not on the 5th of Iyar, but on the 4th of Iyar. The timing of the Seder is bizarre. It is the timing of the last moments of slavery, not the first moments of freedom. But this timing is bizarre, but it is also profound, because transformations happen before they occur. Yes, I'll repeat that. Transformations happen before they occur, and that messes up the timeline. In Kabbalah and Jewish mysticism, there's an idea called It'oruta Dilatata, the awakening from below, that first people need to be engaged and open to the possibility of a transformation before the transformation comes from above. And transformations have to begin with an open heart, and love begins with an open heart, which is why it's so hard to decide exactly when a couple falls in love, because they're opening their heart slowly but surely, moment by moment. And freedom begins the moment that people are willing to become free, the moment that people are willing to embrace the concept of redemption. And at the Seder, the Jews said that they were ready to be free. And in Egypt, as they sat down to that last meal as slaves, they were sitting down and saying to themselves, now we're ready for redemption. Now we're ready for freedom. And even before Pharaoh says that they can go free, even before they leave the land of Egypt, redemption has occurred, because the Jews at the first Seder in Egypt have started down the road of freedom and redemption. And that is what we come to celebrate. We come to celebrate at the Seder the freedom and the energy of 1159. Yes, there's a special energy at that moment before midnight, because that is the moment when the Jewish hearts are ready to accept, to believe, to embrace the idea of freedom. 1159 is the moment that freedom happens, and freedom happens even before it occurs. Think about it, actually. The Seder is a challenge. Will you grab hold of the energy of 1159? Will you open your heart? You know, this has been a terrible year. It's been a difficult year in terms of everyone's finances. We have watched a global financial meltdown. And it's easy for all of us to look at this terrible year and say, well, we expect God to come and redeem us. It's easy for all of us to sit at the Seder and say we want Elijah the prophet to knock at our door and come and redeem us. But really, the real question we have to ask ourselves is whether we will grab hold of the spirit of 1159. Will we grab hold of the energy of 1159 and not wait for Elijah to come knock at the door, but rather open the door for him and open our hearts for him as well? Are we ready to grab hold of the energy of 1159? That is the challenge of the Seder.